there are no members of the public present, so could we just have record apologies for absence, which is Councillor Court.
Yep.
Declaration of interest. Just to be consistent, I'm declaring an interest in item 5200209, which is 69B High Street. This is to be consistent. I declared it before because although I don't know body mechanics, I do know one of the businesses in there who I've used for many years.
Okay.
So just to be consistent, I'll nip out for that item. Anybody else got a declaration of interest? No. Minutes of the meeting on 28th of January. Has everybody was there happy that I signed those as a true record? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, what's the date today?
18.
18th. It's running away with it. Where's I've got a lot of pages to sign.
Might be the first time we've got the new SADC website, is it?
It is really much more difficult to use from the previous
It's not the
version.
most natural.
No.
I don't understand
Friendly on
where
planet Earth.
any of the things are that I used to use on this website.
There we go.
For a start, if you don't click view more services, there's absolutely no way to find out who your councillors are. You have to click that. There's no proper menu.
Right,
Returning
okay,
to the
please
subject
start.
again. Do we have any public questions?
No, none have been received.
Do we have any letters of objection?
No, none have been received since the agenda was
In
issued.
that case, we'll go straight to the main body of the work and go to the agenda item 6 and work our way through that, which is for the applications registered week ending the 24th of January 2020, applications for the week ending 31st of January 2020, and applications registered the week ending 7th of February 2020. And we'll just work our way through these. There are a fair number that wouldn't normally meet criteria for consideration, councillors, but if any of you have spotted an item that you do feel there's something you'd like to raise, please do so. So 5193119, that doesn't meet the criteria for consideration submitted. Happy with that? Similarly, 5200126, 5200066, and 5193127. Page 14, we've got 5200112 at Pondwick Road. Do councillors want to look at the...
I thought it was fine.
I thought
Most open spaces are in that room.
Any comments?
Happy.
Comments? Yes. Everybody happy that we no objection to that? Yes, thank you. 9 Holly Walk. I thought this was okay if there's no actual loss of parking space and no loss of trees or landscaping. Are we all happy on that one? No objection?
Yeah,
Thank you. 5200167 doesn't meet the criteria for consideration by the committee. Similarly, 5200013 and 5200150, 5200158 and 5200046, which is a variation of conditions. So far. Right, moving on to 5200074. Perhaps we could just have a quick look at the plan for this. I mean, I thought it looked okay, except for the trees issues, but perhaps we could have a look at it. Plan for this one.
actually, we did look at the previous application for this site some time ago, which I believe was permitted. Yeah, the demolition of the existing house and an erection of two
Yes.
detached dwellings. So
But it
it's come back.
predated the neighbourhood plan, the previous application, didn't it? When the trees weren't an issue.
No. I mean, this is actually an extension to the house as opposed to the demolition of it
Yeah.
now.
So they decided not to demolish it and decided to extend instead?
Believe so. I think this is a different applicant.
Yes.
From memory, the application for the demolition was actually possibly Jarvis, I think.
Okay.
So, yeah, this is an actual individual this time as opposed to a building company. Yeah, so essentially really it's a quite a sizable plot in Alders End Lane. The proposed changes that they're wanting to make to the house actually just fill in the space that's already there within the footprint. But as you can see sort of from my comments here that I was a little bit concerned about actually that there are trees to be removed with no replacement detailed, and there is ample space on the site to accommodate trees.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think we need to uphold that, particularly given the district's policy of planting loads of trees.
Agreed.
Are we all in line with?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're wanting to recommend
Refusal on
on this
basis.
basis, so we'll be working along the lines of BSD 14,
Yes.
which is part of the Harpenden Neighbourhood Plan.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a bit of an unfortunate name, isn't it? actually? Real architect. If you couldn't say real, like real, I'm a real architect.
520-0137 does not meet criteria for consideration by the committee. Similarly, 520-0159, which is a certificate of lawfulness. 520-0038, which is just a side door window. 520-0271, replacement of roof and eaves guttering. 520-0275, similarly. And 520-0285, which is a certificate of lawfulness.
I just had a question, just for information.
Yes.
Are you allowed to build a wall?
I've seen applications for 1.8 metres,
Oh.
so I think anything below that is probably okay.
Yeah. Well, this is 1.8.
Yeah.
I just wondered how high you can go.
I think you can go, I don't know, does it come under permitted development maybe?
Yeah,
Where I've seen them.
yes, and it depends on the wall. There are rules if it's running along a
Got a
pavement
boundary.
or a road.
Right.
Okay.
I think,
Yes.
I seem to remember looking at it regarding a fence, and maybe you can have a fence of 2 metres
I think-
between you and your
Yes,
neighbour.
I think you can have, I think it's 2 metres, isn't it,
Right.
between properties. And that I think the rules are slightly lower if you're having a fence or a wall going along a road, particularly if it's at a junction. I think that's slightly different rules.
Obviously I didn't look at it,
Yeah.
but the location of this may be that the actual brick wall is on the external boundary as opposed to down the sort of an internal
I
boundary.
think it's, but it's 2 metres is the norm.
Okay then. Thank you.
520-0160. Anybody got any thoughts on this one? Would you like to look at the plan? No.
We did look at an application
We
for
did
look at
design
it,
not
yeah.
so long ago.
Yeah, we did not so long ago.
They've come back with actually probably a slightly lesser scheme.
Yes.
The roof design and form is exactly the same as the existing
I
house.
mean, I would suggest we stick with where we, probably what we said before, which was no objection, subject to no loss of amenity.
Was this the one where the sunlight report, or am I thinking of a different one? Last time.
That was quite recent, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it where they put in, is this where we debated about it for some time? I don't think it was.
You're the architect's own one. And it was all...
I remember reading a 3-page report about sunlight.
Because I think that there was an application that was refused, and they resubmitted, it was refused due
Yeah.
to the sunlight potential issues to the
Yeah.
neighbour, and they resubmitted
Yes.
exactly the same drawings, but they've issued a daylight sunlight report.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
I think
No.
the fact that our recommendation before was no objection subject to no loss of amenity from 29. I think we put that in almost to
Yeah.
draw the attention to planners because maybe we couldn't quite
Yeah.
see or it looked okay. Yeah.
And given there's very little change, it would be somewhat perverse to change that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so are we all okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. 520-0216 is a certificate of lawfulness, so that's okay. 520-0114, perhaps we could have a look at this one.
Must be conservation area as well.
West Common.
It is.
This is West Common Road, so just as you turn into West Common Way, you
It's
turn immediately
literally,
left.
it's literally just as you go around the corner, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
These are quite substantial houses with a particular style and character, so what they're proposing to do is quite modest in reality.
Yeah.
No, I think the issue here again is the trees.
And that's existing. That.
Is this up towards the corner? Is this visible?
No,
From
no.
the West Common? No.
My kind of house.
So as you go on sort of up West Common Way, you've got sort of what, like a couple of cottage style
Yeah.
properties.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the one next door, one actually, to those. Yeah, there's the prime location.
That's a brickwork.
That's proposed.
Those from consolidation.
That's like, I go to my son to spot the difference.
Not huge.
Okay, yeah.
No, I think the only issue is the trees again.
That's it.
Yes.
Maybe turn the garage into a
Yes, of course.
habitable space.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I like the word. So they've got a report on the impact of trees, but they don't have anything about the planting in them.
No, unfortunately not. There's all I could see, I did scour it, and these aren't the easiest reports to read, I must admit. There was no details of where the new trees, or any new trees that they were proposing. It just listed the ones that were going to be removed,
Right.
and the reason why they were being removed. But there was no detail of replanting at all.
They obviously haven't still got their heads around them.
I'm sure he's an expert in his field, but his reports are not easy to interpret, I must admit. It's all thrown on.
The all tree reports.
Oh, hang on, tree removals, appraisal and replacement planting.
I think it's...
Oh, it says overall appropriate replacement tree
Yeah.
planting will play some role in providing future public and local amenity.
But there are no details of what that's going to be and where.
I'm not sure what future public and local amenity is.
Sounds like they might do it when they get round to it.
Normally, in the back of these reports, you have sort of the
Usually
drawing
they
to
show a drawing where everything's going to go.
Yeah.
So,
So on here, we've got
Yes.
sort of purely the details of what is to not be retained and
Yes.
what is to be trimmed back and cleared. But there is nothing to show where the new trees are to go.
now, all it needs is to be that they're in keeping.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. Are we happy to go with that?
Yes.
I think we need to be consistent on trees.
Yeah.
Okay. really, because what these people are proposing extension-wise is fine.
Yeah.
Well, all they had to do was picky of 4 trees and then they're going on it.
And district might well put it through anyway, through things.
Well, that's just if we came out, I don't know if you heard what we were saying, is to have a look at district, whether they're upholding at all on the trees, and if not to query how that's meant to fit with the desire to plant trees in the district.
Yes.
Okay, 5200223, no comment required, the certificate of lawfulness. 5200227, which is the installation of heat pumps.
This sounds horrible.
It does.
I'll show you the drawing.
But I cannot visualise what 2 sizable heat pumps actually, firstly, mean, and secondly, what actually is the purpose of it?
Oh, Eastmore Lodge.
I know it.
Isn't it?
It's called Roch.
That's where it is, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yeah.
No, but this is-
Again, yes.
Okay, they, in a sense, they sort of look like air conditioning units, but they are partially installed, they are already there. And there is a letter of objection from the neighbours,
I'm not surprised.
No,
who says that they have actually, I'll read it out to you, we are direct neighbours to this property and the dividing wall is where these pumps have already been installed without planning permission. We live in a very rural conservation area, these pumps have been installed 720 millimetres from the boundary wall, which you can see in the pictures that Pip's got there, and 1.2 metres from our kitchen door. The mechanical noise that these ascending pumps are making is extremely noisy at all times of day. When we open our kitchen back door, the noise is vibrating along the narrow alleyway. When we are in our bedrooms, the noise is evident and it wakes us up most nights between 12 midnight to 3/4 a.m. When we sleep in our bedrooms, the noise is still very evident and disturbs our sleep. As it is so rural, the noise vibrates through our house night and day. While sitting on a lounge when all is still, we hear the humming of these mechanical machines. We are extremely concerned when in the summer months we enjoy the beautiful quiet rural atmosphere in our back garden. These pumps will be heard above everything else. The reason we purchased our property in Hazelwood, that's irrelevant to be honest. Yes, so essentially these are already in situ and causing some...
It's also an environmental issue when you have noise. Noise pollution.
You can see sort of from the photographs that they are extremely close to the wall, so there's a music reverberation that goes along.
What do they do?
Yes, why do they
It's
need it?
totally part of the heating system for the house.
It draws heat up from the earth, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Pumps it into the house.
We have them. I mean, I think eventually we're all going to have them, aren't we? I believe. But that's exactly what it does. Effectively, but you do hear the fan in the garden, and it heats and whatever it heats the water. So if you have a bath and then there's lack of hot water, you hear the fan going a bit harder.
Right. So this is instead of a boiler sort of system, then
Or
it's a gas boiler.
supplements it, I guess.
Okay.
They're talking about on here, it's like a more carbon-friendly way of having a boiler system, because they say they can't have an installation with a traditional boiler system in a modern house of this size. I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
But you don't have to have
Impact on neighbours.
Given some of the other houses in Harpen that don't have them, I find that a rather dubious statement, to be honest.
I think it potentially might be the location as to where they're being
Yeah,
put.
yeah,
I mean, you
exactly,
clearly
yeah.
said that yours are in the garden, not
They're not.
necessarily
They're
directly
not
in
It's a
right.
matter of
the
location, isn't it?
I've never heard them.
Yeah, no. I mean, I would say it's quieter than an air conditioning unit.
But it's very,
similar,
very
I
close.
suppose. Yeah, it's very close.
I
Yeah,
mean,
exactly.
they're going to be an issue, aren't they? When you
Yeah.
You can't have them on terraces, can you?
Yeah,
They're
they're
not
not
pretty,
lovely.
are they?
No,
Yeah.
I mean, you could have them on terraces.
We've tried to have a little planting around ours, but it hasn't worked so well. But
And
yeah,
how does that actually work? What does it do?
I don't think to spin. It's like this fan going in your garden. And then miraculously we all got hot water. Yeah.
According to this, it's the same level as a normal conversation, they claim.
Well, that's quite loud, isn't it? To be right next to your.
Well, yes, but you don't want to say, yes, that's all very well, but you're not listening to the conversational
Constant,
part.
and they do go
Garden.
constantly, yeah. Exactly, yeah.
I've just
I think
That's
refuse.
reading the report.
I think refuse
Well,
on
yeah,
the basis of loss of unacceptable loss of amenity to neighbours.
Yeah, that,
I mean, I
Agreed.
suppose they could put them on the back of their house, so that they're not
Yeah.
directly next door.
I mean, ours are on the back.
Yes.
Ours are
Oh,
not, they're not down the
yeah.
side passage.
Yes, I think you just say
I mean,
refuse
it's
to
not
loss
down the side.
unacceptable level of loss of amenity to neighbours.
Yeah.
Neighbour's property.
done.
Done. Agreed.
I suppose they put them there so
Yeah.
they don't get the view, they think
Exactly.
somebody else can have the
Yeah,
view,
Exactly,
basically.
exactly.
I think potentially put them there due to sort of the pipe work and things
Might
that go
be,
in
I
the
mean,
way
yeah,
in
maybe, and the pride. Yeah.
the house.
But no more
You think
reports
so?
going to it, really.
Well, I mean, with pipe work, you could always deal with that,
Yeah.
can't
Yeah,
you?
no, exactly.
Okay, 520.0231, which is 59 West Common Way, that does not require consideration by the committee. Similarly, 520.0098, I only declared interest on 520.0220. Oh no, that is,
It's the same one.
it's the same one,
They're
it's
the
there
same.
at the moment. Shall I dip-
You don't have to leave
I
the room.
won't leave the room
No,
because
you
they'll
don't
just,
have
but I
to,
won't
no.
speak or anything or vote.
Okay, so
Paul,
on
would you mind just
Yep.
taking this item?
So this is, I think this is near the phone shop, isn't it? With, and the signage above on the first floor. Shall we have a look at, we're going to
Yes,
have a look
of
at what
course.
they,
So we
Yeah,
looked at
proposal.
this actually last time it came forward, and what they were proposing to do was install three rather sizable externally illuminated signs to the frontage of this Grade 2 listed building. So that is what they are now proposing to do, and I'll very quickly show you what they have used. So this is a photographic version of it, but that was essentially what they were looking to do that was refused.
Which,
Oh, actually, I have got the paper drawing there, the flat drawing there. So we've reduced quite dramatically the number of vertical signage.
What they're doing now.
and-
is this what
No,
they're
that's the
suggesting?
old.
That was the old.
refused.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the refused one, and the one that Nicola told me at the moment was also the refused one.
Right.
And the
This
one
is
that was
the
there is the new one.
This was new.
You got
So they've reduced the quantity of signage, and we now have none of it is illuminated. It is all just flat signage to the wall.
and the quantity is lower as well.
Yeah, there's less.
Well, they've obviously tried to listen to the objections and tried to come up with something.
Do you have the actual size of the sign, please?
No, I don't actually. Hang a moment.
Okay. So effectively, it looks to me as though those two on the front are still there,
Yeah.
maybe not illuminated.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the one on the side is still there, but not the one.
Are they still doing the twin tower? I don't know that they are.
No,
They're
no,
not.
no.
And then I think there was some along the side that they were looking to do, but I think they've removed them as well.
They've got one on the side.
They've got one on the side.
But there's none on the back that I can see on that as well, which I think is...
I mean, well, I don't know. I don't know whether there's a precedent. My issue is that this is a Grade 2 listed building, of which we quite often tell people they can't do relatively minor alterations, and this is putting two great big signs, altering considerably altering the appearance of it on the first floor level.
I think, yeah, the first floor level is a bit, because if you look along the other workshop, you don't see any at that level.
Yeah.
They're all down on the ground floor.
And obviously the oldie, worldy nature of that building on the ground floor is already taken away anyway. It's all shops and that. But the first floor isn't, and that's the bit that you would imagine the Grade 2 listing would want, the look that you would want to protect.
I think,
But I don't know.
if we're going to, if we accept that that's the space where someone's going to have a business, and we want to encourage people to do business in Hartland, I think, given that they've now removed the illuminations and the outhanging sign that the committee had a problem with previously, short of saying that they can't do anything at all to advertise their business on the outside of the building, which we would effectively be doing if we say no on this occasion, I can't see how they can have done that differently, apart from maybe this side sign here. But
The business that was there before was a dressmaker,
yeah,
and she just had a sign in the window. That's all she had. So you could still see it was a business and what she did, but she didn't impinge on the outside at all.
I take your point that you've got to advertise that business.
yeah.
What is the business?
I've no idea. Some sort of
Gym, it was like a...
Sports therapy,
sports.
wellness, I can't read the word on it.
Everything's wrong, isn't it?
It's very much like something I wouldn't be involved with, but
Unfortunately, the front of the building is going to be one shop supposed to look after another. Now, either you accept that that's just it's a business that's got to advertise itself, or that it does it in some other way that would be acceptable.
I think it's very difficult to see, again, short of saying that they can't physically put anything up that's a sort of external advertisement. And I accept the point about advertising in the window. But I think that's as close to unintrusive as you're going to get for an external sign, apart from possibly that one on the side, which does seem like it's probably unnecessary. But they're sort of going to be reasonably unobtrusive.
They would probably argue that they need one outside because if you're actually walking down here, you won't see that necessarily. That would be the...
I mean, how much weighting do we put on the fact that it's Grade 2 listed? I mean, I own a Grade 2 listed house, you know, and I have to replace the windows light with wood, you know, double glazed. So the listing means that you've got to do it, you know, you can't change the front of it. And this is Grade 2 listed, and yet we're going to introduce two things which are almost the same size as the windows that are there. I don't know, I find it hard to answer, but the point is, it's great. I feel as though we have to be stricter because it is Grade 2 listed. That's the point of Grade 2 listing, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it also does other people who have grade listing, when they see something done, that they, you know, I mean, it annoys them.
That's a fair argument.
Does this go to SADC as well? Does this go to the district as well?
Yeah.
It's just the same, just a planning application.
Just purely a planning application, yeah.
I mean, it was only one. Do you know? Yeah, it sort of, it takes up the whole road, isn't it?
I mean, we looked at the road before, I think, and I don't think there was any other signage on the first floor.
No.
I checked it the other week, I thought, no, there's nothing there.
The only thing that I suppose there is signage of some sort is further along, which is what is Zaza's or whatever, the restaurant. They've got signage at the higher level, but quite a lot of that area, the first floor, is residential. So there probably isn't so much of the upper level because they are not businesses.
Should we have a quick look again?
Are we taking both of these in one, by the way?
Yeah, so two applications, one for the advertisement consent and one for the actual...
I thought we were, I was just if I checked.
Yeah, so we will replicate whatever we say for one. Along. If you've got Bowes, sort of in a sense, Bowes Parade is probably the start of it.
Let's go, stop that.
Where does it go? Yeah, so you can see it's all sort of kind of, I suppose, residential. These are all above Bowes Way, these are all residential.
But they've got a restaurant above.
Cross Keys have got something up on the top.
Got...
Is it all conservation?
Yeah.
Keep going.
So this is all residential. Then we get to Zaza's here, where we've got some
What's Zaza's
form of
got?
signage
Yeah, they got one.
with a twin sign above.
And the swing sign above.
CW contractors fits nicely with the conservation area.
Oh, yeah, very tasty.
Harpenden House, you could argue, is closer to the roof line than anything else.
There's Loveweds is similar, Torquay is sort of similar again.
Yeah.
Let's go along to where it wants to be.
So that's
There.
sort of,
That's it.
There.
It's what, to the left and the right of those windows?
Yeah. So I think what they're doing is they're essentially filling the gap.
yeah. It's that side where that man is walking past, and then the second and third windows.
No, I still don't think it's right.
If you have to out for them, you have to out for everybody else.
But the number of businesses in second floors is not high.
Is that 69B, that building?
Yeah.
Yeah, it matches the drawing.
So is it next door to the cafe?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
this,
Yeah,
they're here,
yeah,
this is
cafe.
the Lily, what you see the Lily Lounge.
Yeah, that's what I meant,
Lily
next door,
Lounge.
it is next door, it all used to be the Lily Lounge, yes.
Well,
The only exception there is Zaza's.
And
But
property-
Zaza's, I don't think it's a Great Tulip
It's quite not
building, it's
Great
a conservation
Tulip building.
area, but I don't think it's a Great
It's the
Tulip.
building, it's the problem. Right.
The only other one I think that's similar to that is where Stratton Parker are. And potentially the other one, I mean I can double check in my book, but the other one is where Allsops is.
The political,
There.
Yeah. I think that's
yeah.
another Great
They've
Tulip.
they've got a sign at the top.
They've got a swing sign on top.
But they had a swing sign and they've got rid of the swing sign and it's just
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
less concerned about the swing set, because at least
Yeah.
the actual building is remaining
Yeah.
intact as
Yeah.
a Grade 2 listed building.
Mm.
I just don't, I mean, personally, I just don't think we should have, well, it's not me personally, it's just that
It is ugly. It does detract from
it detracts from the period nature of the building. It's in the conservation area, it's
Well,
Grade 2
that's
listed. I mean, if you can put those signs up there, I don't know.
Well, actually, the swing sign actually not look so bad.
Yeah, I don't think the swing sign would look so bad.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you want to recommend refusal again?
Yeah.
I think that's the way
I
it's
do.
going.
Yeah, what's the, I'm trying, what wording would you say before,
Well, I
after
think-
keeping the Grade 2 listed?
Yes, so I mean,
Building
in a sense, I
conservation
can
area.
adjust the wording slightly from last time, so we can have recommend refusal, the committee considers that the design and quantity, that we can still, I mean, I can add
Yeah.
to it to say that continue to feel, that the committee continues to feel that the application is, that the design and quantity of the proposed signs would be out of keeping with the Hartlepool Conservation Area and result in a negative impact on the Grade 2 listed building, particularly when on a first floor elevation. So, yeah, I can repeat what we said last time, because there's no reference there to it being illuminated or anything like that. We can just repeat it, adding further strength that we still feel, despite the changes, we still feel that
It's not in keeping with the Grade 2 listed building and
Yeah.
conservation area, basically.
Mm.
I mean, well, maybe, ironically, the ones that were taken out, maybe, I mean, for example, that one, and I'm worried personally about the side, presumably that's the side.
the back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you mind
So
the back.
that one, well, anyway, yeah, but we've got to take what's in front of us.
Yeah.
So are we, okay, so,
we're happy to say what we said pretty much last
Yes.
time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
one, do you need to count up, are you abstaining or against, or were you?
Saying or
It's,
against, I
we
mind.
don't record the number of votes.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, it's fine, the majority takes it.
Could you just minute that the councillor took the chair for this
Yeah.
item as I declared an interest? Thank you. I think that's the main body of the work.
That is, yeah.
Right, so we can move on just to note the appeals, would note, perhaps I think we'd be all interested in that, the appeal decision that the Staples Court appeal has been dismissed.
Is that where they wanted to build the extra?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's been dismissed. Refusal. Then there's the list of weeklies for all the district council. Oh, the applications for tree works, which is really just for noting, and unless anybody's got anything they want to raise.
They made a lovely job, mate.
I won't keep
Oh,
it. And then it's just the date of the next, oh, prior notifications were just for noticing
There were
and
no-
voting as well. Yeah, I'll miss that out. And then just the date of the next meeting is the 10th of March. Can't believe it's going to be March. Thank you very much, councillors.
Thank
Declare the
you.
meeting
Thank you.
closed in what may be a record time for a planning meeting.
8:07.
07.
Wow.
Almost as if that full council we had was this way.
Sorry when it happened.
We're on a bit of a run up,
It was
recently.
quite